5th of March, Rabbi Furst, Ruth.
Good morning, Lou.
Good morning, Rabbi. How are you?
1 second. My speaker's not working. 1 second. Says my speaker's not working. Okay. Here we are. Good morning, Lou. How are you today?
I'm good. Baruch Hashem. How are you?
Fine. Okay, sure. Thank you. Okay.
By the way, Rabbi Bradowitz said mensch is good.
Fine. Very good. Okay.
Like you, he said that some people don't use English, but he said if you want to use English, then it's fine.
Yeah. Right. Okay. That's what I thought as well. Good. Okay. Glad we checked with him. So good. Should be okay.
Appreciate your help with that.
Okay. I assume you checked the dates to see that the dates are accurate and all according to the historical dates that you have there on record.
Yeah. I found a calendar converter
Okay.
on the internet that I could put in the English date and it gave me the Hebrew date.
Very good. Okay. Very nice. Okay, so I guess we'll continue on with Megillus Rus.
Okay.
Left off with Pasuk Ish, Yud Beis we did, Yud Gimel we did. Right. Yud Dalid. Yeah. Let's just review Yud Dalid, okay? We did Yud Dalid, but let's review that.
Okay. V'tisena kolan v'tiv kena od v'tishak orpa lacha mosa v'rus davka ba. So it means they raised their voices and they wept again. And Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, and Ruth clung to her.
Right. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Mayor. How are you?
Baruch Hashem.
Right. We're just reviewing Pasuk Yud Dalid in the.
Okay, excellent.
So I don't have any explanation why this is referred to as the mother-in-law. I mean, so right. So we had the question that she was the mother-in-law, right? And
Imply that they converted?
I'm not sure. I mean, it could be just referring in general that she was, whether it was a legal marriage or not. So I guess she was considered to be their mother-in-law to a certain extent.
Because in the next pasuk, it's going to say sister-in-law.
So that's right.
Binds them together.
Right. And let's see the next point, because that was the last point we left off on, that were they really sisters or not? Right? We saw that there are some that say that they were sisters, but here the pasuk is referring to as a sister-in-law.
Right.
Right. Okay, let's see the next pasuk. As well.
Okay. The Tomer Hine Shava Uvimetech El Ama, the El Elo Elohecha shuvi acharei yevimtech. Okay, she said, behold, your sister-in-law has returned to her people and to her gods. Return after your sister-in-law. So now this is totally bizarre, because the implication of saying to her gods is that they did not convert. And furthermore, how can Naomi advise or suggest or tell
Excellent question.
her daughter-in-law to go become an idol worshiper or to be an idol worshiper?
Right. Right, exactly. Even if they hadn't converted, but still, the question is, can you advise a non-Jew to worship idols? Right, that would be like lifnei iver. They're forbidden to worship idols.
I think we learned, I think it was with you, Rabbi, that we learned that because it says Tzelem Elohim, that not only are we not allowed to encourage a non-Jew to worship idols, but we're obligated to do the opposite, and even to the extent that if they do worship idols, we're obligated to kill them.
Right. That's one of their seven mitzvahs b'nei Noach. Right, sure.
Right.
Right. I don't.
I have a comment in my sefer here.
Yeah, go
That
ahead.
it said that Ruth and Orpah had already converted when they got married, but they deduced from the verse that Orpah now returned to her old faith. I guess because she returned to her people.
Right.
Right.
That's learning. That's learning not like Rashi. Rashi's learning that they had not converted.
Yeah,
So
that was the Ibn Ezra said that.
Right. That's the other opinion. Ibn Ezra learns that they had converted, not like Rashi.
Okay.
I'm just trying to check and see if there's any explanation.
Oh, here's an interesting comment.
Yeah.
One who encourages a Jew to worship idols incurs the death penalty.
Mm-hmm.
If, therefore, Naomi told Ruth to return after her sister-in-law, who has returned to her gods, evidently Ruth had not yet converted. Or else Ruth and Orpah had converted to marry Machlon and Chilion, but invalidated the conversion by secretly continuing to worship idols. However, Naomi spoke as she did in order to test Ruth, and she chose her words carefully. She did not actually say, return to your gods, but return after your sister-in-law. She accepted Ruth's sincerity of faith and only urged her to go back to her father's house in Orpah's company.
Mhm. Very good.
Hmm.
That's a nice explanation. That'll answer the question. It's based on the Medrash.
Right.
Okay, so in that case, it's it's understood then.
Yeah. It's still hard, I think, but
Yeah, it's a difficult concept to understand. So what you have to understand, it could be, she's she could be as it could be. She's just stating the facts that Orpah went back to her people and to her gods, but whether she was actually suggesting that Ruth do it as well, that's it's not so clear that that's exactly what her kavanah was. um,
but the problem I have with it is, I mean, it says she chose her words carefully. But why? I mean, she doesn't have to say "and to her gods." She could have just said, "Behold, your sister-in-law has returned to her people. Return after your sister-in-law."
right. So therefore that would make sense, because if she was saying this, if this additional comment was made to test her, right, to test her resolve and her honesty, right, so that would make sense why she added this extra comment in here.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I
Right?
see.
Right. Just 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Uh, let's continue on. I think we should go further in the and yeah.
Vatomer Rus El Tifgei B Le Azveich Lashuv Me Acharayich Ki El Asher Telchi Elech Uva Asher Talini Alin Amech Ami Ve Elokayich Elokay. Okay, so Ruth said, do not entreat me to leave you. To return from following you, because Where you go, I will go. And where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people are my people, and your God is my God.
Oh, very good. So, in the context of this pasuk, we can understand a little bit better why and how they're learning that the previous pasuk was used by Naomi. The mention of the gods was used by Naomi as a test for Ruth, because in this pasuk you see that she reconfirms her conviction, right? To remain loyal to Naomi and to go with her, to stay there with her, and to be loyal to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Right, so that would be a normal response. She's being challenged. Naomi was challenging her, and so now she responds with a pledge of loyalty to the challenge she was offered. Okay, so that's good. Okay.
Yeah, so the Igeris Shmuel, going back to the previous statement, says that, let's see, let's see, I guess Ruth said this, that for no matter what, I am determined to convert.
Right. This was the main affirmation of Ruth's intention to, according to Rashi, that this was the process of her conversion.
Mhm.
She was going through the selection process, right?
Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
Which is also a little bit, well, like you say, it's a confirmation that it's a test, but it also, there's an implication here that Ruth was actually in the midst of converting and that she was being converted by Naomi, in that the elements of this speech refer to elements of the conversion process, that where you go, I will go. Where you lodge, I will lodge. Your people are my people. Each of those is a specific response to a potential problem of converting. I'm trying to remember exactly how it went. Your people are my people is obvious. Your God is my God is obvious. Where you lodge and where you go had to do with sneus. They're saying you can't just mingle with men.
Also, there's another comment here from Yevamos that is dealing with the boundaries of Shabbat, that you can only go 2,000 cubits.
Right. That's where you go, I will go.
Right.
And then where you lodge, I will lodge was that, I won't be in Yichud. I won't be in any kind of a compromise. I won't allow myself to be in any kind of a compromising position in terms of sneus, because I'm going to do exactly what you do.
Mhm.
Right. Very good.
Very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So now, and then the next pasuk, she continues her confirmation and statement of loyalty. This is the continuation of Ruth's statement here.
Ba'asher tamusi amus b'sham ekaver ko yaseh Hashem li b'cho Yosef ki ha maves Yafrid Beni Uveinech. Okay, so where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried.
Good.
Thus, may God do to me, and thus add, because death will separate between me and between you. Now, I've never understood this sentence. The first part, of course, is not a problem. Where you die, I will die. There I will be buried. Fine. Then it says, thus God do to me and more. What does that mean? Thus God do to me more. God should kill me?
I don't know. Ko Yasa Hashem Li. So, I mean, I think it's it's like a statement. This is and this is what God should do for me. I mean, where she's going to be with Naomi till the end, and she's going to be buried there as well with Naomi. That's what Hashem should do with her.
And what does it mean, and more?
Yosef keys almost meaning and more Yosef. Let me see the Rashi here. 1 second. Yosef Yosef, meaning that it was a emphasis of saying that the only thing that should be a separation between Naomi and Ruth and well, okay. We need to know what the even more. It doesn't say, Rashi doesn't say what the even more is going to be. It says that the even more, meaning the only thing that can separate, we're really saying the only thing that can separate between us is is death, right? But doesn't say, Rashi doesn't explain what the even more is. One second.
Okay, I have a comment that seems to explain it. Then she added, may God do to me a prayer that she die a natural death rather than incur the death penalty for her sins. So she's saying that death will come naturally, and that will be what will separate us. According to our sages, for death will separate me from you also alludes to the teaching Ruth absorbed from her mother-in-law regarding life's purpose in this world, to fulfill as many mitzvos as possible and accumulate good deeds for which one is rewarded in the world to come. She would strive for this by becoming a Jew and cleaving to Naomi. In the hereafter, on the other hand, they will be separate, for the souls of the righteous are uniquely rewarded in the world to come, each occupying a different abode, according to the Talmud. then skipping down, it says, death will separate me from you, affirms her belief in life after death.
Right, very good, okay.
Moreover, it conveys her belief in the resurrection of the dead. Ruth said, "Thus may God do to me." She prayed that the blessing Naomi had given her daughters-in-law, i.e., may the Lord deal kindly, should be fulfilled through her alone, now that Orpah returned to her gods. And more, may he add this blessing, find rest in the house of her husband, so that from her marriage will come forth the royal dynasty. So it's a prayer that she's saying, I guess in consequence to my converting, may God grant me these brachas.
Right, and an additional bracha.
Right, an additional bracha that I'll get married and have children and sire the royal dynasty.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. Very good. That's nice. I like that. That she was thinking about not just being forever with Naomi, but physically, but also spiritually. She'd be able to have all the things she was desirous of spiritually as well.
So the translation which says, "Thus may God do to me," really we should strike out the word "thus." There's no "thus."
Right.
She's saying maybe we should say regarding this instead of "thus." May God do to me and more. Yeah. So I think I was thrown off by the English.
Yeah, that's the. I just want to see. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's continue on. That's okay. That's good.
Vatera ki mis metzes he laleches ita vatech dal lidaber eleha. Okay, so when she saw that she strove to go with her, she ceased speaking to her.
Yeah.
So when Naomi saw that Ruth was determined to accompany her, Naomi stopped trying to dissuade her.
Right. I mean, up until now, Naomi's been trying to convince Ruth to turn back. Right. But now, as the pasuk says, right, Terah, she saw, he says, Ametzi, Lalecha, she was determined to go. He talked with her. So now she left off from speaking about trying to dissuade her. Okay. Right. And that's what we learned that and because the Gemara learns many of the things that we do with the Gerim, right? That we are modeled after this exchange between Naomi and Ruth, and so as it's explained in the halacha, even in the halacha, once you see that the non-Jew is determined, meaning we've told them basically everything we have to tell them about what they need to know about converting, the advantages, the disadvantages, and if they still are determined not to take advice, so then at that point, we have a different obligation now. Now we have obligation not to try and turn them away, right? And to, I guess, to help them as we can. Okay.
Just give me 1 second, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I'm with you.
Okay. Fine. Let's continue on another pasuk. That'll bring us to Yud Tes.
It just one thing that one comment is that it says she stopped speaking to her. I'm a little surprised that she doesn't at this point say a word of encouragement. I mean, she's just discouraged her 3 times, and
Could you say that again? I'm sorry. Could you say that again? Lou? I'm sorry. I lost my speaker for a moment.
Naomi has just discouraged Ruth 3 times.
Right.
And we learn that that's a principle of halacha that a convert should be discouraged 3 times. So we're learning principles here from these pasukim.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Shouldn't we learn the principle that once you've discouraged the person 3 times and they've persisted and shown that they're dedicated and so on, that it's time to encourage them?
Well, I mean, we don't. Well, we're gonna have to see what Naomi does at this point. I mean, the pasuk says that she stopped talking with her. Now, what does it mean? She stopped talking. She stopped talking with her entirely. Obviously not. I guess you have to understand. She stopped talking with her in terms of trying to discourage her from
Right.
Right. But obviously they had what to talk about for the rest of their lives together. Right.
Right.
So I think that's what we learn out. We learn out that once they've tried 3 times to dissuade them, and yet they show their determination. So then at that point, we now desist from speaking about her, about these things in terms of discouraging them. Now, are you supposed to go out of your way and encourage them strongly? I'm not sure. It doesn't. Guess you now admits it to help them along as much as you can. Yeah, whatever they would need to know and to do to become full-fledged Jews, I guess now you're obligated to do that. Yeah, that's when the see that's a question. When does we have the mitzvah of Ahavas Ger? You have to love the ger, right? So when does that mitzvah become effective? That becomes effective only when they've fulfilled and completed the full process of Gerus, or even if they're on the road determined to become a Jew. Do you have a mitzvah of Ahavas Ger? I'm not sure. That I don't know.
I'm wondering, perhaps in answer to my own question, we look at the next pasuk. It begins with B'tei Lachna Shtehem. The 2 of them went together.
Right.
That phrase is that the Shtehem is not necessary. It could have just said. It should have just said they went to Bethlehem. Maybe the 2 of them going together. I remember learning that with Abraham and Yitzchak, it says after the interchange where Yitzchak says, where's the sacrifice? And Abraham says, God will provide. Then it says the 2 of them continued together, and the commentary says with one heart that at that point they were united in their purpose. So I'm
Right,
wondering
very
if maybe we can say a similar word here.
Yeah, definitely so. I think at this point, now that she's passed the test and she's confirmed to be a loyal potential convert. So yeah, the fact that they were now going and they would be going together, as it says there, right? That it says there by the Akeda, right? That it says there were Yelchu Shneim Yachdav, right? And they both went. Abraham Avinu and Yitzchak, they both went there together. Right. The two of them, 19, 1 second. Okay. Right, so it's very similar to, right. But see, by Abraham Avinu, it says Yachdav, right? Yachdav, right?
Right,
Says they went like united. Here it doesn't really say Vitil Choshetehem, right?
right,
The two of them went, so maybe it's not exactly a similarity.
right.
Yachdav, let's see, Rashi, I think, Rashi. Yes, the real believe so, right? Like Rashi says there by Yitzhak Avinu and Avram Avinu, Yelchu Shneim Yachdav believe Shaveh, where they were equal in their heart. They were equal in their heart. So here it doesn't say Yachdav, right? Now whether we can make something of that or not, that's another story.
Right. Gotcha.
That's a good point. Not going to okay. This is that 1 second. Put the postage. Should say to feel just there. All right. Oh, it's yeah, it's actually the Meforshim say, right? The Meforshim say the Piska Zutra says stay in Shabbos B'yichud. They were both equal together, right? So even though it doesn't say Yachdav, right? But the Meforshim, the Piska Zutra says this that they were there. They were both going in equal ways. Hmm. So, yeah, that's the only Meforshim, only the one Meforsh says that they went there together. Yeah. Uh, okay. Yeah. Okay, but that does bear it out. In fact, even though it doesn't say Yachdav, but the Medrash does say that they went with apparently with equal intentions and equal desires.
Right.
So, which would be logical. Even though it doesn't say Yachdav. Okay, very good. Fine. Let's see. Maybe it's a good place to stop now. We're at the Yud test, right? Yud test.
Right.
Yeah, okay, you test. Maybe we'll just review this pasuk tomorrow, pasuk you test, because I think there's some more to talk about the rest of the pasuk. We can take a break. Well, you said you have to go out now or something like that, so,
Yeah, I'm going to a picnic, so I'm going to leave you now. I'm gonna end the session.
okay. Very good. So I'll start up the session in a few moments. I'll start a new new session, Mayor.
Okay,
And then
very
you
good.
it'll be the regular, should I send you the link or you have the link? The same link I usually use.
Well, I still have the link that you sent. I could use that if you want to use that.
Okay, that should be the right link.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Have a great
Very
day,
good.
gentlemen.
You too,
Everyone
Lou.
be well. See you.
Enjoy the picnic.
Let's see. Yeah,
Thank
let's see.
you.
Tomorrow's Erev Shabbos. So I guess what, 9:30, we'll do something on Chumash if you like, right?
That would be great.
Okay. Be'ez Hashem. So hope to see you tomorrow at 9:30.
Okay, call Tuesday.
Be well. Okay.